I left my phone in the car. You got to call me back. I don't like to have shots. No, can you text it to me and I can put it on Facebook or how does that work?
Or if you're if you go to on your phone and search for the bits.
It's just tomorrow. Over and over. I get 8 o'clock and I have another dog that lives. It's covered one one's
We're just taking yeah. Oh. So I should be here.
Okay.
She said she put me
Yeah, there you speak about the piece organization.
yes.
Okay, then you can talk to me whenever.
Listen to the rest of the nobody got talking here. It's the chair for this first thing to use. One of the stations.
Yeah, I think there's perspective. There's lights are there's lights like right over there. Looking at your phone. Yeah, you know, I don't get there. That's better. So I'm like, come outside.
That's where we go. Oh. Should be able to share.
Okay, I'll have to share.
Okay, if you're there on the expert community.
Oh, are you?
Sure.
See, that's good for me.
That's so.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna copy with this. Yeah, I And then that's. Hello, how are you guys? I'm watching. Yeah. Ask Jeff something.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Wow.
So this way is the rest.
Yes, sir.
And the right part
Oh, okay. Yeah.
of the village. Oh, it's a street right there.
Are you?
Next to all the
I'm
homes.
doing good. How are you?
That's me. Congratulations.
Wow.
And I tried to get it.
That's county.
Dogs that they're like a husky,
The village.
a husky mix.
Okay, so you know where the ditch is over here, right? If you follow that ditch down, anything on the side is county.
Sure. See,
Oh, wow. We'll take care of it.
they felt like try to get to stay. Don't do something. To get more.
Like that.
Yeah.
They have enough trouble getting out of here. Books.
Yeah.
Yeah. The books. Yeah, I don't have to let me. I'll take a picture. They were really interesting. Like if they. Original. Every. So, I guess that's what they were. How you doing?
Okay. Chris Moya. He's in a rehab center. So he got a serious brain trauma. His collarbone,
So if you want to
broke 5 ribs, punctured a lung,
we gotta wait for Robert, I guess.
broke his leg.
You sure?
Broke his leg.
One nation under God. I salute the flag of the state of Utah. So, peace. Perfect.
Oh, so good.
That's Robert.
Good evening. Good evening.
Can everybody hear us? Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Danny goes in. Mic check.
Consideration of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have unscheduled correspondence with the public comment. Are there any?
David Fuentes, live over on First Street. I talked to Mark earlier about these trees in front of my house. I've come to the city a couple times about these trees in front of my house. I've had 2 vehicles now damaged by these trees in front of my house that the city owns, that has already been determined since the last time that I came to deal with the city years ago. Basically, the city told me that they are responsible for these trees, but they don't have any obligation to do anything about these trees. So in other words, unless something happens, they don't have any obligation to do anything about these trees. The situation is getting worse in front of my house. They're becoming more and more hazardous. More and more stuff is starting to fall off of these trees. My neighbor last year barely missed a big giant tree, and I was there to see it. And just out of nowhere, it just came down right in front of the yard, like right in the front yard. And there still hasn't been any other kind of response from the city or anything like that. And I'm just wondering, is there something we can do about these trees? I've asked the city before. I've paid myself to have some of these trees topped up. But pretty much I've always been told to just kick rocks by the village. And I'm trying to get something done about that.
Go ahead, Jeff. Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
I have to make a presentation.
Yeah.
I've done that before. And I'm not arguing either. I'm just telling you my situation. Okay, well,
They have notice and public has notice as to what. That's on the agenda. Decision.
right. I got you. I understand that.
Yeah.
But so that you guys are aware of that, then I guess I'll see you on the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Kind of kick rocks again, but okay. Can I do it?
2 hours in advance. So I have to have a January request a week before. So you can be on next month's meeting.
Thank you, David. Any more public correspondence? That's it. Okay. Number 3 on the agenda, Deborah Cooksey, Mayor, is asking for approval for all village fleet to have GPSs installed. And we,
As per discussion, Mayor, how many vehicles we looking at?
I believe there's 17 altogether. It's between 17 and 20, no more than 20. No, I'm sorry, I don't take public comments right now. You guys didn't have any discussions between each other about it?
We talked about this last meeting, so I
Yes,
think
we
pretty
did.
much it's a
We
standby.
pretty much discussed this a couple of times.
Right.
So,
Motion to approve.
I second it.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 4, Cheryl Sandoval, Construction Surveying Services is asking for approval of a replat regarding the lot line 409 Durazno and 401 Durazno.
Hi,
Aye.
The lot line that is currently right here. 9.36 feet this direction, up to the setback line. This line, 8 from both lots.
Okay, so that meets requirements, right?
Yes.
5 foot.
This is where the setback is.
Setback is here. We got 20, 10, and 5. Okay.
So changing the lot line from here to here.
Here. Mhm.
The house and the proper setback is they on both of the lots. You can read right-
I see it.
Stephanie, have you looked at, you've gone through it yet? Okay.
P and Z Oakville's.
Question is gonna have a building on or what? Is it a big
So
enough? A little less than 10 feet to the set of the lot. For the subdivision. Well, it's in the two, the town side, lots A and B and C, blah, 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 so. Yeah, I don't understand the question, all three is reading this lot. Well, there might be 2 lots, but one. No, no, there's gonna be 2 lots. They're just changing where this lot is, right?
How much are the lots? How wide is the lot's gonna be? How big are the lots gonna be? If you were to build a house on it, you gotta meet the requirements. Okay, well, that's huge. Okay.
Yeah, they're not asking to build a house or anything, they're just changing where the lot line is, there's like irrigation ditch and they're just moving it away from the irrigation ditch, I think.
I'm gonna motion to approve. It's a reasonable. Motion to approve.
so I missed it. Was it approved?
I'm waiting for a second motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 5, Henry Pralo individuals asking for approval for a subdivision of his property at 1003 Posey and 1005 Posey.
He just walked in.
You're,
You're up.
you're up.
You know, you're on.
I get first on the agenda anyway.
Not.
Okay. I'm here to make a request for the property in Posey Lane, 103 and 105, to subdivide, to separate 2 properties. It's not a subdivide, it's to separate 2 properties. They're already existing properties. It's 103. You did get a copy, right?
We
Nobody's got
get a copy of this. Let me say anything. Just sit right here.
Oh, I have a larger one if you need it.
Are you dividing it in 1? I mean, in 2 or 3?
Three. Yes, both properties have two residents already have an address. They just haven't been separated.
Stephanie, can we break this up into three? Did you check this out? Okay.
For three. They approve it, sign off of it, you need to slap down the same, summary subdivision on the top.
So this plat would be sufficient. It's the same as that one, I think. It's a bigger version. You know, I really don't want to think of sub for house divide here. I don't want to change there.
But you are dividing it. You're dividing it, right?
You're just dividing the property.
Is it house to house?
Easement goes back to the back.
But is this big enough for this?
Yeah.
The tract one C, is that still big enough for a house? 6,000? Big.
1B is still big enough for a house.
You have a copy of it?
I have looked at it before. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking to him for quite a while.
It's 85.
Then they're kind of small.
Tract one B does.
So Stephanie, you're definitely sure that that 1B is big enough for a house. It's gotta be, that 1B is big enough for a house. Definitely. You got
Yeah, there's two residents, yeah. One's been there a long time, and both of them are already separated as far as the legal description, 103 and 105, I believe.
Acres. That's huge. Two. Henry, can you come up real quick? Come up here.
There should be one there, right? Dimensions, you say? I think this is just a larger version.
So if he squares a house there, but shorten it.
That's divided it from 1 acre, it's not quite an acre, 2.72 and 5.2.
We had to pay.
5.20 is almost half.
The one in the back.
The 3.72.
1.293 in the back, that's 1 acre, 2.93, and then 137.
2.373.
372.
Sure, it's got 6,000 feet. That's what the it has to have 6,000 feet. Or even if an existing house is there, existing houses and.
Siri, point.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Siri, 0.372 acres equates to how many square feet?
Here's what I found.
So, 43,560 is 1 acre. So it would be.
I motion to approve.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And then number 6, Bay Ramsey individuals asking the village to split costs for the filing of a quick claim deed regarding property given back to the village.
This is my sister Betty. She's going to hand you a briefing paper. This briefing paper was supposed to be furnished to you back in December when Baxter of Alamo Otero Serving came before you. And I realized because it wasn't furnished that it caused some confusion, so we brought it with us today. You'll just take a couple of minutes and go through it. Thank you, Betty.
Jeff, how does this pertain?
Basically, the village's consideration that you now will have. Describe language. Know what the boundaries are. Practically District 62. I was just getting out of high school. They apparently doing it properly. So it's not a matter of any donation. It's
If the board decides we want to pay half. Is that-
you're getting, just getting out of description.
Okay,
So this doesn't violate the anti-donation clause. This doesn't violate the anti-donation.
It does not, there's no added donation from getting consideration. Consideration, you got a piece of property, now you could have a piece of on the survey.
On the back or the, thank you. And the,
What are we looking at? What are we looking
if I, the original
at? Okay.
or the,
Well, this
the
a gentleman's agreement.
final plat was signed by the village and my mother. It was recorded at the courthouse. From that, we got legal descriptions of both alleys. Those were attached to deeds, and both of the deeds have been signed, and the two pieces of property switched. And so everything's been filed with the courthouse, and the village has copies of everything.
So
the
village,
project
village,
is
village
complete.
half would be 1342.
Would you repeat?
Village amount would be 1342.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you for helping us get it done. It's on the back. And
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
since I've got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Is number 7, Hill Camp on Desert wants to have a discussion regarding the desaltation process. Mr. Camp, how are you?
Just fine. Mayor, trustees. My name's Hill Kemp. I'm the Chief Technical Officer for Undesert Corporation, a New Mexico company. We did our research at Bergendorf, down on Gardo, on desalination, solar power desalination. We've been issued a couple of U.S. patents and a couple of international patents on the process. We've become aware that there's federal grant money available for innovative water purification technology, but you have to have the name utility in your name. We don't have that. We're a private company. And what I would like to do is if the council could identify someone in the city that we could talk to about the possibility of this proposal, jointly applying for the grant funds that would be to fund a demonstration of our technology that would produce about 7,000 or 8,000 gallons of pure water a day from salt water. We would process that through a further step of a reverse osmosis unit, and the water could be whatever Tularosa wants to do with it. Put it in the ground to recharge the aquifer, do whatever you want to with it. But basically, we would do the grant application, we would build and install the equipment, we would operate it, and you would see the results by way of analysis of the product water. So I guess my request is there, who should we talk to if the council is amenable to it? Who the city would we talk to explore the grant possibilities? It wouldn't cost you anything. We would need about a half-acre plot to put our equipment on somewhere in the city, and a pipe with water that's got salt in it. It can actually have long-term implications because the salt content of your water is continuing to increase, and this can actually mitigate that increased salt water because our product is distilled water. The water we produce down at Bergendorf had only 5 parts salt in it compared to almost 1,000 you're running now.
We could, but I was gonna ask Jeff. Jeff, remember that agreement we had with City of Alamogordo with that water line coming to the backside? And we talked about putting, yeah, we talked about desalination.
Years, that's been considered. That's what Alan Gordon did.
Right.
I think they run that occasionally. That reverse osmosis unit they put in, they run that occasionally, but not all the time. That's what I understand.
Can't hear.
I'm having trouble understanding some as well. Yeah. I was asking our attorney about the agreement that the City of Alamogordo made with Village of Tularosa to run that line, the water line all the way to desal. And remember we talked about how they would give us the water, but we'd have to purify it ourselves, right? So, yes, emergency.
Each product.
Comes from the snake tank, right? Snake tank. Right.
Salt water. Still have interaction with water, which is useful. We just need to be able to use it. Desalination would be ideal. That would be an ideal way to get it done.
And I want to emphasize this is a demonstration. Our technology has been proven at the pilot level. Los Alamos National Laboratory is now calculating what our industrial equipment ought to look like when we build industrial scale. So this would be a demonstration size, 7 or 8,000 gallon a day desalination unit, and we can power it with solar energy, waste energy, primary energy. The technology is basically energy agnostic. And we would add an additional step of a reverse osmosis, which basically meets the California requirement for two-step processing.
So what would this cost the village?
A half acre of land for us to put our equipment on. The grant, the idea is there are grants available. We found grants available, but we're a private company, not a public utility or a water utility or whatever have you. So we don't qualify for the grants.
Times these grants are matching grants, so we have to come up with a certain percentage to match them.
No, if there's a match required, Undesert would take care of that. The ones I saw, there was no, I mean, they're asking for innovation ideas and they're willing to fund them from what we've seen so far. But anyway, no, there would be no cost to the village for this.
So ultimately, are you looking at expanding and making it a desalination plant here in Tularosa itself, or is that just an experiment that you're running?
Well, basically, we build our equipment in shipping containers. It's modular.
I can't understand early.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe if he comes back.
I think my mouth is big enough.
Here, we're getting feedback from the back.
Shipping containers.
Mhm.
So one module is one shipping container. That would produce about 7,000 or 8,000 gallons a day. If it proves if you're interested, it'd be a matter of adding more modules. Does that make sense?
Start all over again.
And we're a startup company, and so this would be our first, municipal industrial size installation.
What are you asking of the village now? A piece of property?
If we're gonna process your water, we need to put our equipment somewhere.
I think we probably need to have a more longer discussion, more time.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I think. So maybe the next time you could,
Special session type.
yeah.
Is there someone in the village we could talk to? Or would you rather do it here in a meeting? I don't know.
We do it at a meeting because we're the ones that have to pass it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, I think we're gonna have a special meeting pretty soon. Is that correct, Rebecca? Yes. When we have a special meeting, if you could give her your information, and then she can put you on the agenda and we can talk further more about this.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I just want to be sure that you didn't reject the idea out of hand, and it doesn't sound like you did. So thank you very much.
Is there any old business? Yes, sir, Mr. Shields. Come right up.
Barely got here.
There you go. Good to see you, David.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, trustees. I'm gonna step away from that. Real bad feedback.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna go over our projects. I'm sorry I missed this one. I got COVID and a lot of stuff. Pneumonia, it just got worse. So finally, I kind of missed all of January, so I'm back trying to play catch up. Our projects, as far as supplemental water source, that project study has been done. We're working on the task order now for design. We're also checking on that. That we're on that one. We're looking at. We're talking about the Stockton well. So that project is going to replace the Montezuma well, because that's what the study came up was, that the Montezuma well has better water quality than anywhere else lower in the valley, and then even better than what we could get farther up towards Bend. So that's the project right now, is to drill the Stockton well, run it up to the fire station, and then and that might be something that you can talk to him about, is because eventually we are going to have to put an RO system into the our station on that 10 acres that you have out there. And then probably drill another well next to the, you have the brackish water, and run all of that through our own tanks. And that would take you just to make a, what, 7,000 gallons a day. 700 to 800,000 of that. A day, but it's still the same. It's a remote system that runs straight to the net, so you have surface water. So that's the project we're working on now, and that's what that study we built from John Shoemaker completed that study. The wastewater treatment plant, multiple wells done, that project's done, we're working on the headworks now. That got 744 members in CDBG. That I think the shadow will be executed. We got that in December. So we have enough to get up there and headwork and do some station. The community centers. We were meeting together last week with the vendor for this splash pad. So, but everybody was sick last week.
I had COVID.
Yeah, I got COVID and everybody gets COVID. Richard and Becca and I got together, looked at some designs that were here. So this is kind of what we settled on the first phase. Down there. That's a closing system. Ultimately, we again, it's a lower high again. In 2024 for to do that a complete research system. So right now it's just a flow through system, and then we'll end up going to a complete research. So, but that takes a little more. That's where I've got the restrooms and the showers and all of that. So that's our. We are checking on some of the grant requirements for that project. So and all that with that. Or yesterday and today and then I believe we're also doing also survey yesterday and today. So as soon as those surveys come back, we'll get that decided.
Montclair. Is that on that? Is that on
Like that.
would be okay.
Right now is the March 15th is the turn-in for LGRF and TPF. So we'll be putting in First Street for the 1 million. We do First Street and the culverts, and then LGRF, they're still funding. And we could do a smaller street like Montclair, or we could get with Tampico and see if we can't just do like a maintenance branch that help him do pothole maintenance. So it's kind of, they're changing LGRF instead of doing, it was $150,000-$200,000 project. Now that the state is doing big projects in TPF, they're wanting to do they're kind of changing LGRF, and they said if you're small roads into maintenance, and they're wanting to pay for maintenance. But we had a meeting in December with Francisco with the DOT district, and that's what he was saying. It's transforming to more of a maintenance, and they do the big.
Yeah, that was discussed in the meeting I went to up there.
So Richard says on Montclair's what has happened is that the line has leaked right there.
Mhm.
And
Causing that big old- yeah.
causing that big old hole that there's,
Yeah, so that line,
Yeah.
can you fix it?
not yet they have.
Yeah. We don't need to do anything till it, but for 2024.
It's a big hole.
Yeah, it's the same way with First Street. We fix those over.
What about more funding for roads? Is that a possibility? Um, what about funding for roads, within the village streets? More funding?
Yeah.
More funding,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The TPM.
okay.
And that's only 5%.
5%. Yeah.
Yeah, those TPM, that's what they're moving to, the bigger budget.
Okay.
No, I don't ask me anything, I can't. This is, the sound is messed. First meeting.
The first meeting,
It's our first meeting. I think maybe some of it helps if we back off. Does it help to back off from the microphone? I see. It's because I'm far away and I figured that it might help a little bit.
That's why.
yeah, I do. This picture right here, this front picture, that
Yeah, they're working on it. This is our first meeting. So is there any old business? Yes, and he's got the signs and he's going to be putting, I already talked to him this morning about it. Any other old business? else, guys? There's not enough old business. This meeting is adjourned.